Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infinite Integration. I'm Tanys Coughlan from the Twillo Lifestyle Community, Twillo Lifestyle Academy. I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jacqueline Richards, the Wealthy Yogini. Welcome, welcome.
And welcome to all. Thank you for coming by, sharing space with us. You have to appreciate how much we love that.
We do. We do. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So welcome.
See, there we go.
So our theme today.
Oh, do tell. Do tell.
All about cycles, right? Living in rhythm with the universe. Briefly mentioning cycles, seasons, flow, and alignment is what we're going to talk about. So, cycles. We all have, us of the female persuasion have cycles. The men actually do too.
I was going to say.
Right? They have cycles as well. They may just be a little bit different. And of course, seasons. So everything has a season.
I like the song.
Yeah. And so being in flow and alignment, that's the other piece of this. So flowing through these ins and outs and ups and downs and ebbs and flows of life, because it's quite fascinating how life works, right? Going through all of this. So what does this mean to you, Jacqueline?
Ebbs and flows. And Tanys, I know we've spotted on ebbs and flows through our podcasts, and we've spoken about making sure that the mind has a space, the heart has a space, feet have space. We talked about what it meant to be in ebbs and flows. We also talked about how to get grounded. That G word I will use all the time. Staying grounded. And I love to dance. So when we're talking about ebbs and flows, it's all about the dance. My hips move, my arms move, my shoulders move. And then my body says, thanks, why don't you pop into that headstand? And then I say, maybe not right now.
Next week.
I'll think about it. I will think about it. And it's just to think. So whoever's here with us, I want you to consider, you happen to be getting up first thing in the morning, and you're happy about getting up first thing in the morning, and you click on your radio, because some of us still have radios, and your favorite song shows up. There's no reason why. You listen to the CBC. There's no music there. But at this moment, your favorite song came on. Would you be lying in bed and your arms are flowing and you're like, I love this song, and your head's nodding yes and no and yes and no? Doesn't that feel like $1 million day? I think that's what I want to ebb and flow right into, that $1 million day where I'm hearing my favorite music, where my body's saying, you don't hurt today.
Yay. That's a good thing.
About rhythm.
Yeah. So was there ever a moment that you realized you were out of rhythm or out of sync with your natural flow?
I was just about to say, well, isn't that interesting? I am a two-stepper, which means I don't need to be out of sync, because I'm two steps to the left, two to the right, two to the left, two to the right. When I'm out of sync, I have somehow tripped into that two to the left, to the right. And I don't know why that happens, or maybe I do know why that happens. When you trip, you're not here, you're not present. When I trip, I know I should actually find a moment and sit down, have a glass of water. I know that when I trip, that I'm not here. There's something else on my mind. It could be, when I tripped, was I thinking about money? Was I thinking about travel? Was I thinking about who do I need to see? Even more so, am I thinking about someone who needs me and I've forgotten to pick up the phone, got in my car, I've forgotten to send a message? when I'm at a sync, I can tell I'm at a sync because there's something that I was supposed to snack onto, which could be.
That's another whole show, Jacqueline.
Where did that brownie come from? Oh my gosh! Yes, it's amazing when you're at a sync. You do things like that. You forget
Yes,
what you're going to say, how you're going to say it.
it's true. Yeah, I think for me, it's, you get into a flow and things just happen naturally. And you stay out of the worry and fear mindset when you're in flow. And then, when something pushes you out of flow for whatever reason, and you get into like that fear-based thinking, and that just makes it worse because then that's a spiral. I think that is something that brings you out of flow pretty quickly. That sort of negative thinking, the not sitting in. It's kind of a coined phrase, but not sitting in our own power, right? So sitting in that sort of chaotic stuff, which is really prominent right now in the collective, right? Like we've got a lot of stuff happening in the collective. The cycle right now is about clearing to finish up last year as we start to move into the new stuff of this year. And, there's a lot of fear when people think about that because change is uncomfortable for people. So to move from what we've done to something very new and know that it's a new possibility. And sometimes stepping into new is exciting and sometimes it's anxiety producing, right? I think some of that's the way we perceive it, and the others, it's like the situation itself can be challenging. So
it's new. Again, it's new. And say it with love. Again, it's new. I want you to remember, I know we're talking about cycles and seasons and flows, but the last time something came to you unexpected and you were absolutely delighted, you cried with joy. I want you to think about the last time that happened. Bring that back because this is a new year. And I think that's what you want to experience in 2026. I know that's my intent when Tanys said, and it's new and it's new beginnings. And what's bonus about that? I know you were going to say something like, and it's new endings.
Yes.
And then you talked about fear. I know there's an acronym for that. I'm going to have to look that baby up. I know there's an acronym for fear.
There's one for fail. This coming to mind, first attempt in learning, but there is one for fear too.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. If you guys know in the audience, please let us know.
Yeah, that would be great.
But yeah, we can look that up. I could actually do that while we're talking if you want.
Oh, there we go.
I could do that. I have the capacity.
You do, you can. And so, and as she falls into light language while she's doing that, maybe possibly not. When
false evidence appearing real. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, very good. That is it.
Mm-hmm. False evidence appearing real. Is that like when you buy your lottery ticket?
Now, there's three actually here that it's giving me. The false attempt or false evidence appearing real is the one that I was that I'd heard and was. It's also saying face everything and rise. So that's a good one.
That's a great one.
This one is kind of like fight or flight. So this one is forget everything and run. I kind of like, we could do both of those, right? Forget everything and rise.
I do. I like that rise, right? Because I work with so many female organizations, and that is one of the words that they will consistently say. We need to help you rise. And it's a collective you, not just the single you. I teach that single and collective. It is, let's help each other rise so that we get to where we need to get to. It is a new year. And I know Tanys and I have done feng shui, and we know for a fact, well, I know I printed it off, the 10 things that I need to do in the beginning of this year. That'll make it start the flow the way you needs to begin for the universe and yourself. And so there's these 10 tips that they're kind of interesting. And so when anyone's ready, if you're looking for it, let us know. We'll fire that off to you.
Mm-hmm.
Often you've already done bits and pieces of it. I know I did. Out of the 10, I probably already had the 4 pieces done. Instinctive.
Yeah.
Infinite. Yeah. We integrate it, because that's why we call infinite integration.
Yes. So the other thing that's cool about the ebbs and flows, like we do need these times, right? When we're like doing more stuff, and then we need to rest, and we do more stuff, and then we need to rest. And
well, that's what the bears do, right?
Mm-hmm. So I think that, over time, my relationship to rest has changed in terms of trying to acknowledge, yes, it's time to rest. And yes, it's okay to just be today. You don't have to do today. Right? And that's it. There are times when I feel I have to do. And then there's other times where I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm not going to do. I'm just going to be today.
Well, isn't it interesting? Because we talk about rest and we talk about naps. And I think we may have had that conversation. Naps are fantastic. When you decide that it's fantastic for you, I will speak on my behalf. When I think about naps, I think that it takes time out of my day and that I can't take a nap because I don't have time to take a nap. Now, here it is, people. Does that make sense if someone needs to rest but can't bear to take the time to rest because it's called a nap?
Yeah, so for me, if I don't take the nap, I am way less productive.
Yeah.
That's just me. So I noticed that over the years that I'm way less productive. So if I do take the nap, it's almost like giving myself a second start to the day, because I'm like, okay, I got this. I can do this. And my flow to my day is very different from most people because of what we do and working a later schedule and all of that sort of thing. So
there are multiple schedules that you work on.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, as I'm saying nap, I rephrased it. And so that's in my teachings, I need to rephrase things so that it keeps me in a safer place. So rephrasing it is taking a mini meditation. So I would say a meditation instead of a nap could be the same thing. However, it feels so much better to consider that for me so that I allow myself that rest by that name.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who thinks that way?
Yeah, I think it's different for everybody, right? I know some people don't feel well if they sleep during the day, right? And that's okay. That's maybe a time to do some meditation instead of a nap.
Yeah.
So everybody has their way, right? We all have our own flow to the day and cycles during the day. I know even our bodies will feel different at different times of the day. And so capitalizing on those, when you're feeling most productive, when are you feeling that afternoon slump? When are you feeling like you can take on the world again? Like what time of day is your best time? I think for you it's morning, right? You tend to be a morning person.
Yeah. And as you're speaking, I'm like, are we teaching Ayurveda again? We could. Anyway.
We could.
So, yeah, I am a morning girl. I love getting up and watching the sunrise. At the same time, I love watching the sunset. I love watching the moon, which means sometimes I don't get sleep because there's so many other things to do.
See, that's why I like my naps. Now, I'm not a morning person, so I'm not going to be your 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning girl. That's not me. But yeah, or your 5 in the morning girl. But, I think that's why I have a nap, because I seem to have like energy kind of midday.
Yeah.
And then I have like an afternoon slump, and then I still have to work in the evening. So if I have that afternoon slump and I don't listen to my body and have a rest or meditate or something or nap, then I'm not as good and fresh, right? And I do a lot of clients and classes in the evening. So doing that with rest is a good idea. So
It's a great
that's,
idea.
and,
And I
and
love,
then I feel
I know
fresher, right? To get more done.
exactly. And I
Mm-hmm.
know your clients, I'm sure, may have received notes around 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time that you were thinking. I was thinking about you, and I just thought I'd send you a message at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
That I love that sync. It's like bing, bing.
Well, and 3 p.m. is a magic hour, or 3 a.m. is a magic hour, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, 3
And
p.m.
that's what
is
they
too,
believe in
apparently.
Ayurveda too. Absolutely. And yoga.
Yeah. Yeah. The difference is I'm going to bed at that time and Jacqueline's getting up.
I love yoga.
That's awesome. So, how do you feel those seasons or shifts in your body or your energy? How does that feel for you?
Um, and that's that pregnant pause
Mm-hmm.
because, so in winter, let's just take a look at that. So in the winter, my body is feel more like stillness, and I'm finding more these days. It just needs to be still, and that is the meditation. Um,
Yeah.
my thoughts are quieter. So, I think everyone has taken a look at what is 2026 going to look like for me. We've all done our business plan. We've all done our vision board, because you did your vision board with Jacqueline. And you're
If you
thinking,
haven't, stay tuned.
yeah, and
There's still time.
you're thinking about what car should you get? Did you change your tires? No, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Um, I'm surprised at the amount of sleep that I now require in the winter. Even though I say get up at 5, that's a shaky 5.
Yeah.
And I love to be warm. I will take 8 blankets. Um, I'm wearing
Yes.
yes, I'm wearing my socks. So then spring shows up, and all of a sudden it's like life is returning to me. Not that
Mm-hmm.
I lost it, just it's now returning, and I want more movement. It's the walks. Now think about it. It's minus 30, and you just had 20 centimeters or 10 inches of snow that arrived. Are you going to be walking in that because you're excited about that? Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, in the spring, I'll walk through the water. I don't mind. I feel light in that space. Seasons, you don't have to say it. You just know it's happening. It's arrived. It's playful. And now the summer shows up, because that's my time. When
Mm-hmm.
the summer shows up, then I need to go and see my concerts. I need my music
Yoga on the beach.
and yoga on the beach. And then there's fall, which is, again, it's that change. It's a change of color, change of season. And then at that moment in time, I have to tell you, I'm looking back. If it's fall, what did I do in the winter? If it's
Mm-hmm.
fall, what did the spring look like? If it's fall, did I use the summer the way I needed to? If it's fall, what's next for winter? And so that's how my seasons roll, internally and externally. I just need more information about what's next.
Yeah. I think that's a typical kind of feeling when it comes to the overall energies of those
Mm.
seasons. Winter is about that sort of hibernation, just like the animals that hibernate, right? We sort of tend to hibernate and we go inward and we try to decide what we need or what we want for the next bit. And that's really big time what we do in January, right? We're like, all right, what do I want to create for this coming year? This is a season of introspection and checking in with ourselves. What do we need right now? What is it that we want to create? And I think, I think this year is a bit of a challenge for people where that's concerned, because there's so much uncertainty in the collective right now, especially like in Ottawa. There's a lot of change happening for a lot of people in career and all of that stuff. So I think there's, it's difficult to kind of go inside and look at it without looking at it with fear, because I think we fall into that really easily. And that's everybody. That's a human nature thing, right? So certainly don't be hard on yourselves if you are falling into that. I do it too. It's a human thing. We tend to, the what ifs come in. But I think we tend to catastrophize those what ifs when we could actually have, so what if all of that went right instead of what we think is wrong, right? What if all of that was happening for us instead of to us?
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you for that. I know, aside from making soup and going into the fridge, finding everything I possibly have to put in my soup, it's called stone soup. It's whatever you have. It's going to be amazing. And then it's and I think Tanys knows I had to not make a decision. I had information that came to me that I needed to figure out, oh my gosh, what should I do about that? And exactly what you said, should I fear it? And no, it was an opportunity has arrived. And, we take a look at what's next. You're not sure what's next, but just be okay to take the steps and know that there is something ready and waiting for you for all the right reasons. And so when I was talking to Tanys about that, I'm like, yeah. And I was able to smile and sing about it. This is fabulous. I got to beat the drum and know. And I wish more people would beat their drum and know that it is available in there. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
You forget to breathe.
I do. Yeah. It's there's trust involved in that, in the ebbs and flows, because when we ebb, we're like, what's happening? And trusting the universe is key to that. I've had so many times where I've had trust, and you'd think that I would trust implicitly now, and I do have way more trust than I used to. But there's times when you're like, your programming comes in. And that's the piece, right? We're programmed to be in fear. All of our big systems are based on fear-based thinking. And so we're programmed to be in fear about things. And so it's that, okay, I'm ebbing. What does this mean? I'm going into fear. Why am I going into fear? Oh, it's programming. Okay, it's programming. I've had so much evidence, right? Evidence appearing real, but it's true evidence when it comes to that the universe supports me, right? There's a reason. There's always a reason for things, and feeling into that and trusting that is important.
Very. And I don't know how many will be watching this or is watching us right now. We are two beautiful women here, and all of what we just talked about are men too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
this is
everything that we just 100%. And it's almost like, for me, are they forgotten? Because I'm still this woman who's walking. Did I forget him? And I will take a breath and say, I choose to believe I've not forgotten. I choose to believe that he needs everything we just talked about now. He goes through the seasons too. I will tell you for sure they
Absolutely.
go through the seasons. Oh,
They go through
brothers,
menopause too.
exactly. You
Yeah.
got brothers, husbands, sons, uncles, you name it. They
Hmm.
go through the systems. Should they deny it? Okay.
No.
Maybe they will take a moment and wait, meditate or nap.
There you go.
See?
It's a way to start your day again. If you're having a bad
Yeah,
day, have a nap. You can start all over
exactly.
again.
Yep. And yeah,
I don't know, that's my motto.
yeah. I hope my brother's hearing this. It's your sister who's talking to you.
Yes, it is definitely. If you can step into trust and know that our life is meant to do that, that we're meant to go through those ups and downs, that we're meant to go through the ebbs and flows, and the introspection, then the doing, that sort of thing. Um, then that's where we can find ourselves a little bit more peace. If we can understand, okay, it's just for this moment. What is happening just in this moment? The other thing to ask, are you safe right in this moment?
Uh,
Yes, I am sitting here. I am safe. There is no imminent danger. I am safe.
yeah.
Beautiful. Am I safe in this moment? Yes, I am safe in this moment. So staying in the moment helps us to navigate the flows, the different ebbs and flows of life, I think, too. Right? Because when we're starting to look at the future, that's where we get into that kind of negative, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. And let's face it, as a race, we are control freaks. We want to know what's going to happen in the future.
But it's interesting. So, didn't you pick up your pen when he said, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen"? Wouldn't you want to start writing, "This is what I think could happen"? And then on the flip side of your page, you decide, "Here, I'll show you exactly what's not going to happen. This is how it's going to work out." I took
Mm-hmm.
my pen and I decided to create the life I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
And I
that.
think,
It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
and we're still in that sort of releasing time, right? I feel
Yes.
energetically, I feel like we're still in it, for another 3 to 5 weeks. We're still kind of releasing last year.
Yeah.
And so be
Yeah.
patient with yourselves, right? For the next 3 to 5 weeks. Just allow whatever happens to happen. There's a reason for it all.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to sit in it, even if it's uncomfortable, which is, not always fun. But sometimes it's necessary because it brings us lessons, it brings us knowledge, it brings wisdom from within. So,
It's about taking that bath with Epsom salts and making sure
mm,
you've lit your candles. It's about making sure you got enough water or coffee. Okay, water.
big, big one right now. Yeah,
But
definitely.
exactly. And then it if your rhythm includes wow, I will go out there and say sometimes rhythm in work is rhythm in money, is rhythm in creating. So when I said, it's this pen is really important,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that rhythm, there's something that looks like a dollar sign, or there's something that looks like a trip that you were going to go on, or there's something that you forgot to take a breath through.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when I think of creation, I know, Tannis, you do artwork as well. I find it incredibly soothing to do art.
Yeah.
And I do art myself. I did art with my daughter when she was just a little mudget. I do art. Uh, I was sitting by the water, and then people were watching what I was doing, and they decided, what a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is that rhythm that I breathe through. And I think everyone is thinking about breathing through that rhythm. And so when I talk about rhythm and money, that is an interesting opportunity for me to talk to people and say, when you shake the change, that's music, isn't it? Because change is real, it's
Mhm.
currency. Look
Mhm.
at it like that. And then figure out where your next steps are. I know it's the beginning of the year. Take a moment, draw what you want to see, be, and feel. And then we'll talk about currency and money and other things after, when you find that space to be present, to be calm, and to be loving. Because when I talk about money, love yourself.
Mhm.
Love yourself.
So, what shifts financially when people stop forcing constant growth? What happens with that?
Uh, it's interesting to find that sometimes people stop saving. That's a great S word. And sometimes, and I've seen it, wait, because I think I've done it. I could put it in the bank, or I could invest it in stocks and bonds, or what I had previously done, I had an envelope and I put the new $10 bills in an envelope. The one, oh my gosh, what is her beautiful name? It'll come to me. So they were the new bills, and I wanted to save the new bills. I was really being specific about saving the new $10 bills. And I was thinking that that's my rhythm. When I take a look at that money that I saved intentionally, it's just 10 bucks, but it's 10 bucks saved. And it's because I appreciated that woman who's on that bill. And she brought me the idea of success because she had it. And
Mhm.
so those $10 bills made me feel like that's where I want to be. If that's where you think will help you, do it.
Mhm.
That's what I did.
Mhm.
Did I save and put money in the bank? Yeah, but those $10 bills went in that envelope because she reminded me of how powerful we all are and that I want to be.
I'm looking
I
up
know
who's on the $10 bill. You know that,
exactly
right?
you are.
I
I
want
would
to
go
say
with
it's
Viola.
Viola Desmond.
Yeah.
I had Parks in my head. I don't know
Oh,
why.
yeah, that's Rosa Parks, where
Rosa
there's a
Parks.
movie. Yeah, there's a movie coming out or already out on Rosa Parks because another brilliant human being who decided that her rhythm meant that she could sit at the front of the bus.
Yeah.
And some people appreciated that rhythm and some didn't. But I will say to you, the collective said, "Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
going to beat that heart. You're right." So um, that's what money is to me today.
Yeah. I mean, we all have resistance too, right?
Ooh,
To flow. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing when we're in fear, is that resistance to flow. Let's talk about that for a second. What does
yeah.
that mean?
Well, it's interesting because I was just going to ask the group. So, what does resistance to flow mean to you?
Hmm.
For you, dollars to donuts. You've witnessed people resistant to flow.
Yeah.
You have been a participant in a resistance to flow.
Yeah.
And
And
Tansy,
often, go
mhm.
ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say you commented on it earlier in this podcast about life being a little wonky, a little,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. And most of our resistance is usually based on that fear programming,
hmm,
right?
yeah,
Sometimes it's not based on what's not based on necessarily the fear of not having enough. Sometimes it's based on other things, but it creates that block for us,
yeah,
right? Sometimes we need um, like removals and stuff like that because we've had other lifetimes where we've taken a vow of poverty in terms of money, right?
yeah,
Or we've taken a vow of celibacy in terms of love. And so we need to break those energetic ties that we have. And that could be a resistance. Or it can just be that we don't believe in ourselves enough. And so we think we don't deserve it. And that can be resistance. Or we don't know what our lives would be like with it, and that's unknown.
Or without it.
Or without it.
Yeah.
And so there's resistance because of the unknown. Right? So there's always different ones for different people. We all sort of have our own little set of resistance that comes into play.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. And you help people with those pieces of resistance, though.
Mm-hmm.
Can we touch on that one about the ebb and flow, or even more so, how you help people? Because I know you talk about cutting cords. Is that part of the resistance piece?
Yeah, because oftentimes we have cords with like people and situations and stuff that are holding us back, so that creates a resistance because we're constantly aware of those things that have happened before. So that can be a resistance. The vows, like I was mentioning, those ones can definitely be a resistance. And it's a very subconscious because it's happening like at the soul level, not even at the conscious or subconscious level, really. It's at that soul level. And so we don't really understand why we're in this situation. But the other thing to understand is often we're almost always we're provided what we need. But it's not necessarily what we want. Right? It is always what we need. And so we tend to see things of us not getting what we want as being a block, for instance, in that, right? And yes, we have a certain amount of power to manifest what we want. So we can do that. And we do have, it's important for us to know to take the steps to manifest what we want. Right? But I think there's also a component here of what we came down with our soul contracts to play out. And so that's not always congruent with what we think we need or want. So sometimes it's about us reframing it and looking at it from a different perspective. What is it that I actually need? Right? Is it financial abundance, or is it that I need to work on myself so I'm happier within myself? Oftentimes, if we do that, then we're raising our frequency and we're getting into those higher frequencies. So we're going to attract more of what we would love. Right? So usually I'm working with people in a sense of, let's work on your vibration. Let's keep that nice and high so that you have the grounding, the stability, the motivation to do what you need to do to release resistance. Because if we're stuck in not feeling great about ourselves, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, spiritually, energetically, then we're not feeling motivated to create, right? And that puts us in that ebb flow, the ebb stage as opposed to a flow stage, where we're kind of being held back. Sometimes it's for a reason. Sometimes it's because we haven't worked on some things that we need to work through. There's that kind of stuff. So really releasing the denser energy that gets stuck in the field can help really move us forward. And for myself, I think that's what I do. If I'm stuck in that kind of mindset, I end up doing, I'll do some ceremony, or I'll, do some self Reiki, or I'll, do a share with somebody where we do it on each other, or do those kinds of things so that we can move all of us forward. And I think that's the value of community, is having others that you can talk to, that you can work with, that you can bounce ideas off of. I know you and I have done a lot of work together in numerous ways, and it's just so much easier when there's somebody else in your corner. Right?
It's interesting. Sometimes they don't even know. I had 3 conversations, 3 separate people. They don't know each other, but all of them are doing the same thing. profound projects. They're doing the same thing and they have no idea. And each of them need each other based on the conversations I was busy having with them. You know, this one needs A and B, this one needs B and C, this one needs C and D and B. And then there's someone who stands and says, you probably need each other. That's what I call my mastermind. And we bring it all together so that they understand they're not alone. Because you can feel alone when you don't have A and B, right?
Yeah.
You can feel alone when you don't have B and C. So when you're talking about community, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Ensure that we help people rise.
There we go. And I lost the one. Where is it? Face everything and rise. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do with our fear going forward. We're going to face everything and rise. So big hello to all of you that are watching. I see a few of you've commented. That's great. Please let us know, like, what are some of your stuck? Where's some of your stuckness? What area of life? And yes, exactly. We're going to rise like a bread dough. Thank you, Leah. Welcome.
Wait, I like bread.
That's great. Let's put some yeast in our lives so we can grow. We can rise like dough. What is yeast for you? What is it that helps you grow? What is it that helps you puff up? Which is a good thing in this case, just saying.
Yeah.
Good in this conversation.
Is there yogurt in that bread too?
There might
be. Mm-hmm. Maybe. And I ask because I'm interesting. So I'm lactose intolerant. And so yoga for me doesn't make my body feel all that great. However, I had someone who made yogurt, bread, right? Yoga in it.
Yogurt, not yoga.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Oh, did I say
yoga? Yoga makes her feel great. It's the yogurt that doesn't.
Yeah, the yogurt. Yeah, I have an issue. Yoga is perfect. Yogurt, meh. However, it was back to the bread. There was yogurt in bread, and I just thought how it was an amazing loaf of bread.
Yeah, beautiful.
And so, why did I talk about bread? Because someone mentioned bread. Yeah. Oh, it rises.
It does. Yes. Leah says, "Stinking thinking. I'm catching myself all the time." Yep. Mm-hmm. And redirection is perceptual. Definitely. Well, our reality is all our perception, really, right?
Yeah.
So when we can step in and know that, then we know that we can change our reality by how we perceive our reality. Yeah. You know, it may not change. So, I mean, you think about, why is it that you can have 4 people experience the same thing?
Yeah.
One person thinks it's amazing. Another person is like, whatever. Another person is like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever.
I've seen people do that. Exactly like that. Ever.
Yeah. And the other one is devastated.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's all the same thing. It's all their perception of what's going on. You know, so our perception is key when it comes to all of this. What is your perception of the cycles and flow, ebb and flow of life? What is your perception of how you see that? I mean, Jacqueline and I are not winter people. It's not our preference. But I know some people that love it.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same winter. It's the same weather.
It's
and they
the same
love
minus
it.
30. Yeah. And it's interesting because is there thought, you know, playing in the snow. For me, it's about rest. It becomes that moment where and it's interesting, fewer commitments, which is a challenge. I know it's a challenge for you, Madame, but fewer commitments, more sleep. Oh my gosh, gentle movement. I just love that. And it's somewhere in there. It's that P word,
Patience.
permission. Oh, patience, but permission,
Permission.
permission to be
Yes.
okay. And
Giving ourselves permission to do nothing
yeah,
occasionally.
yeah,
Right? You don't want to give yourself permission all the time, because we do have to, in our 3D lives, we do have to pay bills, and we have to keep our house clean, and we have to, keep ourselves clean and all that stuff. So we can't just sit and do nothing all the time. But there are times when we can give ourselves permission to just chill.
Those are the 10 feng shui tips you just talked about. Okay.
Do you have those handy? We could read them out.
We do. We do. And everyone's stone soup is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think people underestimate that. It's always perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We get to receive and believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Welcome, Shane. Shane says self-talk is something to always be aware of. Our words are very powerful. Yeah, our words are spells, right? So when we step into telling ourselves something, we're like spelling ourselves. So do we want to spell ourselves with negative, or do we want to spell ourselves with beautiful, reassuring stuff? Right? Absolutely.
It's interesting. I wondered, has anyone written on their bathroom mirror how they feel about themselves? AKA it's on black and red marker. I love me. I am amazing. I create brilliance. And so I read that, and understanding people who are in my bathroom who said, Jack, I'm just wondering why there's stuff written on your bathroom mirror.
Because she does really have it. I've been to her house.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Respect. Suck it to
yes.
me.
Exactly.
RESPECT. Find out what it means to be. Yeah. So what does it mean to you?
I think that's great. That's a good question. What does respect mean?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's another show we do. Because that could be a whole other show.
That is a big show. And I will say that so often that conversation needs to be had. I think we forget what respect is, what it was.
And self-respect, right?
Oh, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put this up because we want to tag Aretha Franklin in that.
Yeah.
So it does.
Aretha
It starts
Franklin
with
and I love each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So what do you think? How do you think people could perceive the new year?
Could perceive the new year.
Mm-hmm.
I will say perhaps the way I'm perceiving my new year, out with the old, in with the new. And it's that P word. It's persuading myself that all is okay. Because I step back and I often do like we all do, that can't be, that's wrong, I'm wrong, and
Self-talk.
I think it would be, yeah, exactly, that self-talk. And so I'd rather not, I would prefer to be using those beautiful words that I am.
Yeah.
So that's what this new year looks like. And I'm working on my word of the year is melody. What is my melody for this year?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks like Leah's is possibility. She says this year is full of possibility. Absolutely. And no judgment. Definitely. So what's your word of the year? Those of you that are out there, what kind of flavor do you want to bring to this year? What kind of word do you want to use? Could be more than one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Opportunity, possibility, like Leah, harmony,
Yes.
peace. What do you want to bring? Self-authority. Awesome.
Nice.
Trusting in yourself.
Yeah.
Humankind. Or a kind human. Yeah. Very good. That's awesome. Yeah, I think, self-authority speaks to me like sovereignty, right? Being a sovereign being. Making decisions for yourself out of love for yourself and others, but making decisions for yourself, feeling into what's right for me, right? Or for you guys if you're making them for yourself.
Yeah.
Feeling into what's right for each of us.
Yeah.
In our unique situations.
That sounds like a little bit of respect.
Yeah, self-respect. Yeah. I was watching some of the other, light workers and stuff on YouTube. Yes, this is true. Source wants us at our best and takes us as we are. Absolutely. I love that. And they were saying, one of the things that they were saying, I wrote down a couple of things. So honoring our tenderness. I think this was Lee Harris. He was saying we need to honor our tenderness. We're also going to be called to speak our truth. Voice our truth. Voice is going to be a big piece. The end of self-abandonment. So this has come up for me a couple of times, this self-abandonment. So this is another one that we could maybe do a show about, because what does that mean to you guys? Self-abandonment. Because that ties into what we were just talking about with the sovereignty and stuff, right? If we give in to somebody else's needs, we're like self-abandoning our own needs. And so we have to meet that with some balance and harmony for ourselves. So that's another one of the themes. And then dramatic beginnings is another one. So there's some interesting themes coming up. I mean, this is a 1 year, a number one in numerology. So it is about these new beginnings that are coming. And so it could be seen as a very exciting year coming forward. And I think we're going to see some big stuff on the world stage. Keep in mind, being in the moment, right? I am safe in this moment. I am safe in this moment, this now moment. So keeping that in mind.
Yeah.
So, yes. Our kindness is critical for ourselves and for others. It's never been a crime to put oneself first. This is part of our remembering. Beautifully said.
Thank you.
It is. It's us remembering who we truly are.
Yeah.
Without the programming, without the fear. And being in the flow and the cycles. So, beautiful. So we have an activation, right? And an activity. So reflection practice for this week. Okay. Where are you in your own energetic season? So where are you? What is your energetics? What do they feel like? Okay. Are you in a cycle of rest, creation, or harvest? Which cycle are you in? Just honor it. Okay. Pace yourself. Remember nourishment. And that doesn't necessarily just mean food. Self-talk. That's going to match your natural flow. And so the light activation is a phrase. So what I'd like you all to do, if you're willing and wanting to participate in this, if you don't want to do it now or you can't for some reason, please feel free to, do it at a later date. If we close our eyes and we visualize silver lunar light flowing down through the crown, spiraling through our energy centers, all the way through that central channel, and having it connect all the way down into the center of the earth, wrapping around that center of the earth, connecting our heartbeat to the heartbeat of Gaia, feeling the earth's heartbeat, putting ourselves in resonance with her heartbeat. And a phrase that you can say, if you'd like to repeat after me. I live in harmony with the cycles of the earth and the cosmos.
I live in harmony with the cycles of the earth and cosmos.
My rhythm flows with divine timing, grace, and ease.
My rhythm flows with divine timing and ease.
And we'll just take a moment and bring through maybe a little bit of galactic like language. Please remember, we don't need to understand it. It's simply the energy. Amaya tatorikia. Entira ti katarariata mpora tetria. Astarati, astarati. E manenia tatarari katuribi. Asta aramanaya. Iramanti. Okireti tenaya. And a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. As we take our shoulders up and we roll them back and we bring them down. I'm doing Jacqueline's job.
No worries, there's headstands coming. It's all right.
I won't be doing that part of Jacqueline's job.
Not today.
Not today. Maybe someday, but not today. So what have you got coming up? We have next week, we're back to our regular scheduling for infinite integrations. Whose light language? That would have been, what am I hearing? Arcturian for that. I think it was a bit of a collective, actually, so there was more than one. So there was some Pleiadian around, so you may have had a feel of that and a little bit of Lyran in there. But I think for the most part, it was an Arcturian that was speaking through. So the primary energy you'd be getting is Arcturian there. Yeah. So we have our show next week. Thank you, Leah. At 5, same time, same place. Right? You have yoga.
Absolutely.
You have yoga classes, so check those out.
Yep. Online, here it is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. They are on twillowlifestyle.ca under events and classes. And what have we got going on? Let's see. I have a Reiki 2 class in person on Sunday. So if anyone's interested and they've got the Reiki 1 and they're looking to do Reiki 2, that's there. And what else have we got? We have Twillow Talk, of course, next week. So that's exciting. And yeah. What else have you got going on? I also have Galactic Gab next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. We have this. We have lots that we're working on in terms of classes, yes. Right? So there's that kind of stuff. We've got the whole team is working on a bunch of stuff still for the new year for classes and whatnot. So stay tuned to twillowlifestyle.ca and to these podcasts and stuff like that. You may have noticed there's been more shorts coming out. So we started amping up that a little bit. So stay tuned for that stuff. We've got, I think it's 6 days a week we have covered now. So stay tuned for more of that. And we shall see you next week. Right? Closing thoughts, Jacqueline, about flow and seasons? What do you think?
Well, it's beautiful when we start working for ourselves, with ourselves, instead of against life. And if we've chosen to be productive in our spaces, let's be open and honest about being productive in our spaces. So that's what I get to say. Make sure you love your stone soup. That's it.
Absolutely. Gratitude and love.
Always.
So lead with love and let love lead you. And we'll see you soon next week on Infinite Integrations. Take care now.